Hello everyone and welcome to a new video, dedicated to our beloved Snoopy and to the world of Peanuts. This Peanuts January 19th, 1951 strip places Charlie Brown at the center, still vulnerable, exposed, while Patty and Shermy observe him from a distance that isn't only physical but emotional. There's an initial silence, almost suspended, broken only by a simple, direct detail, a child crying. And yet, from this elementary image, Charles M. Schulz builds something subtler, sharper. Patty and Shermy don't just see the crying. They try to understand it, to categorize it, to translate it into something rational. And here a precise dynamic comes into play. That of adult language, made of interpretations, improvised diagnoses, almost mechanical attempts to give meaning to something that, in reality, is immediate. Their words move in that direction. Hypotheses, explanations, small psychological models built on the spot, as if pain had to pass through a logical filter in order to be accepted. But beneath this surface, there's a gap. Because while they speak, Charlie Brown remains there, in his pure state, unmediated, unexplained. His discomfort doesn't need theory, it exists, and that's it. And right here, the reversal arrives. Schulz dismantles, with almost invisible precision, that entire construction, and brings it back down to something simple, concrete, almost trivial. A conclusion that doesn't deny complexity, but resizes it, showing how often the need to explain everything ends up drifting away from the most immediate reality. It's a minimal scene, but it works like a lens. On one side, the human need to make sense, to analyze, to control emotions. On the other, the more uncomfortable truth that some things aren't explained, they're lived. And in that gap, silent, almost imperceptible irony takes shape. A dry irony, clear-eyed, that makes no noise but lingers. In the first panel, Charlie Brown is sitting on the ground, motionless, his mouth wide open, the crying unbroken, continuous, steady, almost mechanical. It's not a sudden outburst, it's something that persists, that stays, that fills the entire space. His body is still, rigid, as if it no longer had the energy to react. But his face says everything, without filters. A full, total discomfort that doesn't try to hide. A short distance away, Patty and Shermy are watching. They don't intervene, they don't come closer, they just stand there, observing him, like spectators. Shermy breaks the silence. His voice is simple, flat, almost neutral. Charlie Brown has been crying all day. There's no judgment, no surprise. Just a statement, direct, almost clinical, as if he were describing any ordinary fact. Patty, instead, looks at Charlie, but doesn't truly enter what's happening. Her gaze is curious, analytical, distant. And here a precise, sharp fracture appears. Charlie lives the emotion, goes through it completely. The others, instead, observe it, study it, keep it at a distance. In the second panel, Patty offers a first interpretation. Maybe he's maladjusted. The word lands cleanly, almost heavy, out of proportion with what's actually happening. And it's precisely this gap that creates the comic effect, subtle but exact. There's a pause, as if the thought lingers for a moment. Then Shermy steps in with another hypothesis. Do you think it could be the environment? The tone shifts, sliding toward something more constructed, more adult, almost artificial. The dialogue takes on an unexpected pseudo-psychological nuance, and above all, one that's out of scale, considering that it's just two children speaking. And in that gap, something happens. The scene becomes clear, clean, almost mechanical in how it works. They're searching for a complex, articulated explanation for something that is, in reality, extremely simple. And it's right there, in that distance between simplicity and interpretation, that the real effect emerges. In the third panel, Patty continues, in that slightly detached tone, almost clinical. Maybe he's frustrated or inhibited. The words become more precise, colder, turning into labels, improvised diagnoses, casually placed onto something that is anything but casual. The language stiffens, becomes technical, almost caricatural, as if naming an emotion were enough to actually understand it. At that point, Shermy interrupts the flow. He doesn't analyze, doesn't build further theory, he acts. I'll ask him. A simple sentence, direct, almost disarming. And there, everything becomes clear. The dynamic is evident, linear, inevitable. It starts from observation, builds a theory, and then seeks verification. A small logical scheme, a miniature version of the scientific method, applied, however, to something that escapes every formula, a child's emotions. And while they talk, hypothesize, classify, Charlie Brown remains outside. Outside the discourse, outside the analysis. Outside, above all, any real contact. Because no one yet, has actually asked him how he feels. In the fourth panel, Shermy returns with the answer. His shoes are too tight. And at that moment, everything collapses. The psychological hypotheses, the complex words, the deep interpretations, dissolve one after another, leaving no trace. What seemed like an enigma, something to analyze, to dig into, is reduced to a simple fact, almost trivial. A physical detail, concrete, immediate. The contrast is sharp, almost brutal. From labels like maladjusted, inhibited, to something absurdly everyday. And that's exactly where it works. Because it flips everything effortlessly. Charles M. Schulz cuts away the excess, removes the noise, and leaves only what's essential. And in that gesture, he exposes a precise human tendency to complicate what, in reality, was never complicated at all.
If you enjoyed yourself, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and activate the little bell to stay updated, and see you next, friends.